How do you believe the shared governance model has changed the culture of fear among faculty?
Yeah, Dr. Fagan. Thank you.
Well, you are all experts in education, and so you all know this for a fact. It's not just what you take, it's who you take. And so we are blessed at ORU by the type of people we have. So we have really had good relationships in many respects for a long period of time. There have been good people doing good things. I see John Swales here, excuse me. Other people, Patrick Otto, who've done good things and put out great students over a long period of time. At the same time, what this governance has done has given us clarity, has given us a little more who's doing what, so there's less of confusion of what our roles are, so we get an opportunity to work together in more harmony. So I think it's improved, I think it's helped. I do think the culture of fear was a little overrated, but it did exist. And even in that time when we would have been struggling the most, this place was still putting out good graduates. So that's my perception. I don't know if anybody else would like to share from the faculty, because they really probably have a better perspective than I do. But I don't see any takers. Yes, Jim.
We're not afraid to tell the truth. And we know that this administration will listen to us and have listened and responded. And we know we're on the same team. So we're not afraid. Thank you.
Dr. Rutland, are there any current plans or discussion of regular established dormitory visiting hours?
That's an issue that, those kinds of decisions, I want to say to you, you may not have a good, clear view on who the president is, but those kinds of issues sort of reach me at a last moment, where somebody comes to me, I have a group of people in my office, the deans, the student development, the people, the chaplain's office, those kind of things, and it's worked and processed a lot of things, and somebody says, hey, I think we ought to do this. If there's some substantial policy change that I don't feel the liberty to go forward with, that would go to the Board of Trustees. If I can check a box, then fine, I can do that. If there's something, that just rattles me, then I'll say, easy. This looks like too hard of a turn to the right, something. But in general, those kinds of discussions, the president of the university is not, too much involved at that kind of level. So I'm not sure a lot of times those discussions would be happening. They may be happening, but they have not yet reached my desk, and I'm not energizing those. Those come up. That's shared governance. Those come up. They don't go down. Does that make sense?
Excellent. Thank you. Dean Guajardo.
Those talks have been happening amongst us, even in SA they've been coming up. I think the deans were talking to Dexter here the other day about visiting hours. One thing we want to hold true to and that your parents count on is that we do have a difference in the separation of dorms, guys and girls. That's one of our founding purposes, that's one of our founding safety issues, is that we don't have all the guys going in every day to the girls' dorms for privacy issues and the same the other way. So we hold true to that, and we want to hold true to that to provide you the atmosphere that you need to get your education in a safe place. We went the extra mile last year where we're now, you got to use your IDs to get into the dorms. In the past, we've had situations where visitors come on campus, they enter the dorm. A lot of times, our desk personnel don't know because a lot of them are young and they don't know who all the students are. And so we want to try to provide that safe place. This sort of goes into that safe place where we want to provide more times where guys can go into the girls' dorms, we think, and then guys go and girls can come to the guys' dorm, things like that. But we also want to remain true to having separate dorms and making sure those are safe and making sure that the privacy issues are privacy issues. Your parents count on that. We hear from your parents every year, thank you for doing that. There's two things we hear most from parents, thank you for that and thank you for a curfew. So we did clean up the curfew last year, as Dr. Rutland said. But we are in the talks. We continue to talk. We know that in the future, if there is a student center, that we can have more places for students to hang out and do what you all do best, socialize. So we're trying to do that. We're continuing to talk. So, you know, we always welcome ideas. One thing about student voices, you can always come through your RA, your student leaders, your RA, student association, chaplains. You can always talk to us. We have, myself, Dr. Boyd, we have an open door policy. You can come talk to us about ideas. SA's new General Assembly is going to help with all that. So we don't want you to feel like you don't have a voice. You do. But we also want on the other side, we just don't want to throw everything out like, yeah, guys can come into the girls' dorm from 8 to 5. That's, you guys are taking showers, things are happening. We want to be careful. And we want your parents to keep sending you here. So we want to be responsible in what has been entrusted to us.
Thank you, Dean.